was shot dead just steps from where he lived with his family at 518 Pennsylvania Avenue. This morning's shooting happened just across the street from PS 13. On this same corner of Livonia and Pennsylvania Avenues, an 18-year-old was shot to death in January at 3 p.m.
He's on the scene of a fatal shooting in East New York.
The violence in East New York is just crazy at this point.
I would describe East New York as not a bad place and not like a very good place, like in the middle.
One color, and that color is gray. If you think of things in black and white, it's just a mixture of things that are just like a melting pot of ideas, culture, and experiences.
Is it a safe place? Would you want your child to be there? No.
I think the media portrays East New York as a bad neighborhood because most black kids live in East New York, and it's a whole bunch of fighting, gang violence, and majority of that involves black kids.
A lot of people have the prejudice toward us as a people in general. I'm African American, and I've been places where people just prejudge you just based on where you look, and that happens a lot in East New York, where the way a kid may dress or where an adult may dress, people think they're poor, or people think they're miseducated or uneducated.
Like us as color and like white kids as like two different people deal. Like if a crime goes down, they'll suspect a black kid to have done it before a white kid.
The media portrays East New York as the forgotten city. You would not know this is Brooklyn. At night it's very dark, it's very gloomy. When you drive by, it's nothing on Pennsylvania Avenue. But as you go deeper inside, it's nothing. But there's so many people that live in this community.
It's a good community, just some of the people that make it bad. So the people that's in the community that make us look bad, they make it seem as the neighborhood is bad, but it's really not.
People usually expect me to live somewhere else and somewhere nicer, but when I tell them I live in East New York, they're like, "Oh, you have such great manners for living in that area." And my response always is, why wouldn't I have great manners even though I live in that area?
It gets annoying because like when you tell people you're from around here, like all you hear is like people like dying and killing stuff, so it makes people think that like you like ghetto and stuff. So.
If I was a person that was coming here who didn't know the community, it's frightening, downright frightening from the things that I've seen.
Anything can happen to me at any moment, anytime when I walk out these streets. And to know that where I live and everything and I don't feel safe is really bad.
Some people just take it upon themselves to be in a gang and do stupid things and end up with stupid consequences.
There was this one time, I was playing basketball with my friends, and like some fat guy, he was running out the building, and two black guys was chasing him, and he shot him. I just felt scared. And then I just went to my guard, but it was like 5 gunshots went off. Yeah. And I went back outside when the police came outside.
Because it's this forgotten wasteland, because that's really what it was years ago. It was just wasteland. It was grassland. It was a landfill. And you put these projects here, and it was okay. But then the violence happened. The social project manifest, and now we have this chaos.
My name is Brother A.T. Mitchell, the founder and executive director for Man Up Incorporated. And I am joined by so many of my comrades and my colleagues and my family and my friends. And as we have done for the last 3 years, we start right here on this corner at the beginning of Brownsville, and we walk for 3 miles straight down Sutter Avenue. We call it Main Street today. We're doing this as well in solidarity for a movement been launched called the Gun Violence Awareness Movement.
I'm the founder, executive director of an organization here in Brooklyn, New York called Man Up Incorporated. As a grassroots-based organization, it's not easy to even survive 1 year, let alone more than 10. But we did start as a result of a young brother named Deshaun Hill, who was shot and killed back in 2003. And ever since then, we just made a commitment to try to rally. At that time, the beginning was the men of the community and trying to get them to be more engaged in the affairs of the community and fight against the issues of gun violence. So we did that. We started with an after-school center, to which this day we still run and operate, where we service young people for as young as 5-year-olds all the way up. And today we are not just only dealing with after school, but we're dealing with day school programs. We're in several schools. We have a summer day camp program we've been running for also over 10 years.
When I first started, I'm not gonna say I wasn't doing good in school. I just wasn't doing as good as I wanted to. And when I was in that program, they said that if I wasn't passing my classes, they wouldn't allow me to play basketball or do anything else I wanted to do. So that made me want to do better in school.
The chaos unfolding around 10:15 Wednesday night inside the Irving Plaza concert venue. Investigators say fans were waiting for rapper T.I. to perform when gunfire erupted in a third-floor green room area as opening acts Mano and Uncle Murder were on stage. 3 men in their early 30s and a woman in her 20s were struck in the gunfire, according to police. One of the men shot in the stomach died from his injuries.
So I'm out here days after losing my brother to gun violence. Like the brother said, some of us keep pushing even in our pain. A couple years ago, I changed my life for one reason only. And that was because I wanted to be a better father. I wanted to put my hands deep into my children's life and show them that there was something better for them. That is the job of a father, and that's why we are here today. If we start changing our patterns and start looking at our children, looking at every step of everything they do and pay attention to their lifestyle, then we'll see a change in our communities, because it's not about us, it's about our children.
I mean, I came up with nothing but poverty, gun violence, crime, police brutality. I mean, it speaks for itself. These are neighborhoods that society tends to just try to forget about and don't give the resources that needed. I have my own organization that deals with gun violence. It's GMAC, which stands for Gangsters Making Astronomical Community Changes. And we do similar work like Man Up Incorporated. That's why we're out here today, because we support each other in the work that we do. Because it doesn't take just law enforcement to change our communities. It takes us, those who know what the problems are.
It's about leadership in our community, because our kids can't be what they can't see. I think that our kids need to see positive examples, and I don't mean TV images. LeBron James is not coming into East New York or Brownsville to save the day. We as black men must take the initiative to provide real leadership.
It's important for them to see that no matter what part of Brooklyn you're coming from, now we can come to somebody else's neighborhood and show support for the positive that's happening. When you have communities like this that has been underserved for so many years, it seems like there's nobody to give the resources to if you don't spotlight those organizations that's doing the positive. So they say, well, we don't have nobody that's going to do the work. But when you show those that's doing the work, then it's harder for you to argue giving us the resources to continue to do the work that we're doing in our communities. So that truly answers the question. It's easier to keep us, organizations like mine and Man Up and others, from the positive spotlight, so that you continue to add more resources to law enforcement to continue to add the modalities to our community.
For every negative message, we need a positive message, right? Problem is, we have 10 negatives to each positive.
Violence sells, negativity sells. It's what people are willing to, turn to and look at. Our country is not well.
Because what you see in the media, they always try to live up to that standard, the way people view them. So a lot of times I see kids playing the act like they are poor or they're bad or they're involved with crime, when most of them are really not involved with crime.
We seem to be attracted to negativity, and this country does a very good job at putting it in our face. And so that's something that you see every single day. Then of course you're going to, get attracted. The media benefits from that attraction.
I'm involved with a basketball program, and we actually brought the community out to play a basketball game against the local police department, and we created a positive relationship with the police department because of that event. But that wasn't on the front page that week. At the time, there was other events that's happening in the world, and they felt that a positive wasn't a great thing that would sell newspapers, or And unfortunately, in America, it's all about money and how we can make money off the media, not necessarily is portraying someone as positive versus negative.
They say in media that if it bleeds, it leads, right? So they always run into gun shootings, they always run into the violent, bloodiest sort of cases or stories, because that's the front line story, that's the headline story, that's the front page story. But they benefit at the end of the day financially from it.
The whole narrative of what East New York is needs to change.
Because the more people we have minorities involved in media, then we will be able to control what's being portrayed in media. So I think getting more reporters, more writers, so I think we need more of that. So as long as we're in control of the media, I think then we wouldn't have to complain about what's being portrayed or not.
Us creating the tree was really for students to visualize being able to kill the stereotypes and change our own personal narrative. The brown leaves, they represented the stereotypes, and the green leaves, they represented positivity and our individual truths.
That's